A sailboat was found 16,000 kilometers away from where it disappeared 2 years prior. So how on earth did this boat travel all that way? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. But before we get into it, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. In September of 2018, an Australian man named Peter Jeffsky set out to sea for a solo sail around Tasmania. The professional sailor had done this many times before, and he knew the waters well. The race was part of the annual Sydney to Hobart yacht race, which takes place every year in December. This particular race would take Peter close to the coast, allowing him to take advantage of the wind and hopefully shorten his time. It's just 3 days into the race, however, winds began to pick up. By the afternoon of December 3rd, they had become too strong for Peter to continue, called in the race, and headed back to shore. But by 4:30 that afternoon, his vessel, the 18-meter yacht 9-7 Alpha, had vanished. Despite launching a large-scale search operation, the Australian authorities were unable to locate the boat or its sailor. After a week, the search was called off. It was presumed that Peter's boat had been caught in a sudden storm, causing it to capsize and sink. Sadly, it was assumed that the 63-year-old sailor had died, but here's where things take a turn. Almost exactly 2 years later, on November 19, 2020, the yacht was found just off the coast of Iceland completely intact, but with no sign of Peter anywhere. To make matters even stranger, the investigation revealed some disturbing details about the case. You see, when the boat was first recovered, the authorities noticed that the GPS logs from the yacht's tracking system stopped abruptly on December 3, 2018, the same day it disappeared. Furthermore, all of the yacht's electronic devices, including the radar and eyes, which is an automatic information system that ships use to communicate their position, had been shut off. This was unusual because Peter was an experienced sailor who relied heavily on these devices. He would not have turned them off unless he was in serious trouble. As if this wasn't bizarre enough, investigators also found a logbook which detailed the journey leading up to the disappearance. The last entry read, "All is well. We're being watched, though, from below." This cryptic message was signed off by Peter and dated December 2, 2018. What did he mean by "we"? And what was he referring to when he said being watched? Was there something or someone down in the water watching them from below? Could this be the reason why the yacht was sailing in the middle of nowhere 2 years later? The yacht had traveled 16,000 kilometers away from where it disappeared, almost exactly due north. But investigators have been unable to explain how the boat managed to drift so far. There was no wind or current that could have moved the boat in such a straight line over such a long distance. Even more puzzling is the fact that the boat showed no signs of wear or damage. It was as if it had simply been parked somewhere and then picked up and moved. Some have speculated that Peter may have been kidnapped by someone who then used his yacht for their own purposes. But this is highly unlikely, as there were no signs of a struggle and nobody had reported seeing a boat in the area for weeks. Others believe that Peter may have become disoriented and ended up sailing in circles for months on end without realizing it. But this, too, seems highly unlikely, as Peter was an experienced sailor who knew the waters well. He would not have been able to keep sailing in circles for so long without noticing. In the end, the case remains unsolved. All we know for sure is that the boat was found 16,000 kilometers away from where it disappeared, and nobody has been able to explain how it got there. So what do you think happened to Peter? Do you think he was kidnapped, or did he sail around the world without realizing it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. I'll see you next time.